Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about types of arrays in C programming. Okay, so in previous lecture we had seen what is an array, how an array can be declared, and how an array can be initialized, how those values are stored into the array. So similarly, there are different types of arrays. So generally you will tell the types of arrays as single dimensional and multidimensional. Few of them will tell single dimensional, two dimensional, and multidimensional. What are the thing it is? Single dimensional we had seen in our previous lecture. So today we'll concentrate on two dimensional. As I said, few people will tell two dimensional itself as a multi-dimensional. So don't get confused. Almost all are same. Only the thing is array sizes will be varied. So multi-dimensional you can consider as 3D data, right? So three values x, y, z, like that you can give. Two dimensions only x and y you will be giving. For single you will give only the x values, right? So that is a small difference, and the number of values will be changed depending upon the dimensions of your arrays, right? So in C there are two types of arrays, namely single dimensional and multi-dimensional. As I said, few of them will tell single dimensional and few of them will tell multi-dimensional separately. So next, first we'll see what is single dimensional array. So a single dimensional array is a collection of values of the same data type. That is similar to your array definition, and they are stored in contiguous memory. So what is a single dimensional array? If I give array of 10, so how many numbers I can store? I can store from 0 to 9. Okay, so 10 values I can store into that array in a single row. That too, contiguous memory is one by one without leaving any spaces, right? And those can be accessed by your index values. In the previous lecture we had seen by index values also, right? So where do we use mostly these single dimensional arrays are in your lists or sequences of data, and they can also be implemented data structures like stacks, queues, linked lists. So those all can be done by your single dimensional array, right? So declaring single dimensional array, how you are declared? By giving the size or by directly initializing values to a array. So the simplest way to declare the array is to specify its size at compile time. First, let us have a look at the syntax and declaring of an array. So how is the syntax? Is data type, array name, and the array size. If I wanted to read 10 values of an integer data type, I'll give here int array name, any name you can give, let it be name itself, and I will give the array size as 10. So that time what will happen? My array name is name. It contains 10 elements of which data type as 10. Okay, sorry, int data type. So where data type is the type of the data, such as int float, array name is the name of array, whatever you wanted to give, that one you can give. And array size is the how many number of values you wanted to read into the arrays, array size. So if I wanted to declare with initializer, that is directly I wanted to give the values, then I can use this type, data type, array name. Here I need not specify any value, and directly I can give number of values. So in this what will happen? You need not provide any sizes. Automatically it will go into the array indexes accordingly. Okay, if you will provide the size, exactly you need to provide those many elements only. If suppose here by mistake I have given 5 and number of values, if I give a 6, right? So then you may get exceptions like array index bound or array bound exceptions. So exceptions, as I said, we had discussed in our previous lectures, those are nothing but runtime errors. Okay. So if you don't provide here anything, directly if you will initialize, it automatically takes the number of array size and it will store your array values. Yes, so where data type is a type of the data such as int float, and array name is as usual, whatever you wanted to give the name, and values are nothing but whatever the list values or the values you wanted to store into array, those values you will give. So value 1, value 2, so on up to n values you can give. So this is an example. Int array is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how the array will be stored in your memory, right? So at the 0th index, I'll have 1. At the first index, I'll have 2. At the second index, I'll have 3. At the 4th index, I will have 4. At the 5th index, I'll have the 5. But the condition what we had seen for arrays is arrays will take the positioning or index values from the 0. So for 5, we will take up to 4, right? So this all are nothing but your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are nothing but your array elements. And ARR of this bracket is nothing but the array name. Okay, so this is how a single dimensional array will look like. Next, coming to your two-dimensional array. So 2D arrays are the most used in multi-dimensional arrays. These are generally stored in the form of rows and columns and are used to represent the matrix values, right? So all the matrices addition, matrix multiplication, transpose of matrix. So all these are done by using the two-dimensional array. So again, declaration with fixed size. If you already know that you are going to declare 2 by 2 matrix, then you will give data type, array name, rows and columns. In two dimensional, you'll have rows and columns. So you need to provide rows value as well as column value. Two dimensional means 2 cross 2. So total you will get 2 rows and 2 columns. So you will get 4 elements of input for that particular array. Right, the simplest way to declare array is to specify its size at compile time. And let us look the syntax. That is what we have seen just now. So where data type is again type of the data, such as in float. So what values you wanted to store into that, you can give data type, array name, and rows and columns are of the sizes of row and column. For example, you can declare like this: int array of 4, 4, and in this bracket 5. Always you need to remember that first box is rows and the second box is a column, right? If you wanted to declare or initialize values with the declaration, then you will use this one: data type, array name, sizes you will give. How many I want? So now if I consider 2 by 2, so you should remember that you need to follow the proper braces here. So one here and the last one, you can see this whole is one single dimension, and the first flower bracket is your rows and the second flower bracket is your columns. So if you take multi-dimensional like x, y, z, right, rows, columns and z-axis values, if you wanted to take, here you will include another square bracket, you will give another size, and then you can use another value also. Okay, so this is what the difference between your two-dimensional and multi-dimensional. N number of values you can take. So this is the declaration syntax with the initializer. Previous one is just only the declaration part. Next, data type as usual, again your integer, float, all those values. Array name is what are the name you wanted to give. Size 1 is rows and size 2 is your columns. And values are 1 to n. So first row of array. Similarly, m is value of mn, where the values of the mth row of the array. So if you just check out how we can initialize the two-dimensional array with its value directly is int arr 2 by 3, because I wanted to use 2 by 3 matrix. So 2 columns. So first column, 2 rows, first row and second row. How many values is having? It is 3 values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is what the representation of actual two-dimensional array when you give the values like that. So in this example, I had considered a 3 by 3 matrix. So see here. So first row, second row, third row. Each row is having 3 columns, 3 columns, 3 columns. So this is how your values will be represented. So again, how that is going to that particular cell is, you can consider here A0, array of 0, 0 element. In matrix, how you do A0, 0. So at the 0th position, A0, 1, first row, first position, and first cell. So here, row 0, 0 and column 0, 0, your 1 will be placed. Row 0 and first column, your 2 will be placed. Row 0 and column value is 3, your 3 will be placed. For the row 1, again row 1, column 0, row 1, column 1, row 2, column 2. Again, row 2, column 0, row 2, column 1, row 2, column 2. So, if you consider the matrix representations, this is your A00, A1, A01, A02, A10, A11, A12, A20, A21, and A22. So in that representation, those values will be going into your array. Okay, so these are the columns and these are the rows. All these are your array elements. This is how the two-dimensional array will be represented. Coming back to your multi-dimensional array is a collection of values of the same type. Again, multi-dimensional array is used for analyzing, processing data of multiple dimensions, such as performing simulations on a grid. As I said, no, when you are considering grid values, you will have X, Y, Z values. So all those calculations will be done by using your multi-dimensional, but for the time being, you can move on with your single dimensional and multi-dimensional array. So for that representation into coming into your programming, we'll have a small look at yes, so coming back to our program here, so I'm just giving a small representation of two-dimensional array. What are our requirements? How those values will be stored into our array. Okay, so yes, this is what you are starting with your stdio.h and then starting your main. So I took two variables, I is equals to 0 and j is equals to 0. So one is for reading rows and the other one is for reading columns. So I'm taking an array of our name, and its value, I value is 4, j value is 3. So 4 rows, 3 columns. So 4 times you will use these flower brackets. Each flower bracket contains 3 values. Okay. So traversing into 2D is how we are going to enter into the for loop and how we are going to represent those values. Okay. So see here. Here the values are being already initialized. First row, first column is 1, 2, 3. Second row 2, 3, 4. Third row 3, 4, 5. Fourth row 4, 5, 6. Right. So for I is equals to 0. That is for array of 0, 0. First row I is less than 4 because my value is 4. So condition is true because I had initialized here 0. Then we will enter into this J loop. Okay, so J is what again? J is nothing but your columns. So J is equals to 0. J less than 3. Condition is true because we took 3 value because here you are having the value as 3. So condition is true. That time you will enter into the this for loop, second for loop. Now what I wanted to print, array of D, percentile D, percentile D. So what is this one? First percentile D is I, second percentile D is J. So array of 0th row, 0th column is equals to percentile D. What is that value? From where do I am taking? Array of I comma J. That is array of 0th comma array of 0th column. Okay, so that particular value will be printed. Again, from here you will come out of this first in the internal for loop and you will increment the J value. Okay, so now your J value will become 1. Again, you will check the condition. 1 is less than 3. Yes, condition is true. So what will happen? Again, you will enter into this printf percentile D is equals to percentile D. Ith value is same 0 because we didn't come out of the outer for loop. We are still in your inner for loop. And then second percentile D is J. What is my J value now? It is 1. So array of 0, 1 is equals to percentile D. What is my array of 0, 1? So array of 0, J is my 2. So 2 value will be printed. And then again your J value will be incremented. So now my J value will become 2. 2 less than 3. Yes, condition is true. Again you will come here. I value is as usual 0. J value is 2. So 0th element, 0th row, column is second column. What is the value? I had here 3. So 3 will be printed, right? So these are index wise printing values I had shown in this for loop, and simply I just wanted to print it in the form of matrices. Then I'm using this for loop. The condition is same. Okay, the conditions are same. Here we are reading, I mean here the particular initialized values according to the indexes I'm showing, and here what I'm doing is I just wanted to represent that into the matrix format. How I wanted to show it into matrix format. So let us compile this and see the output first. To successfully compile. Yes, see here. So what did I said? Array of 0, 0, you had 1. Array of 0, 1, you had 2. Array of 0, 2, you had 3. Then you will increment your I value, you will come here to 1. Then you will increment your I value, it will get 2. Then you will increment the I value, it will become 3. What did I said? How many rows I want? 4 by 3 matrix. So 4 rows and 3 columns. Right? So this is how you can represent the matrix format, and these are what their indexes values. Okay. So this is what your multidimensional arrays. So in the previous lecture, we had a clear idea, clear representations in your single dimensional array, right? So if you have any doubts, you can ping us. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you, everyone.